This interview was cut down for time, but you can watch my full interview with Jim at the link in the description below. Morning, I'm Will Beck, Wholesale Marketing Rep for Sprague Energy. Welcome to Sprague's Refined Products Review, where we share what's moving the market, giving you insights into what we're seeing every day. I'm joined by NEFI's President and CEO, Jim Collura. Jim, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Jim, I know a fair bit about NEFI, don't know all of it, obviously, as much as you do, but I've been involved. But tell some of the audience a little bit about you, a little bit about NEFI, and what you guys do for the heating, for the liquid fuels delivered industry.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Will, and thank you to everyone at Sprague for having me on here. Appreciate your longtime membership with our association and how engaged you've been in the important work that we do. So thank you again. And yes, as you mentioned, NEFI is we're a trade association. I was appointed as president and CEO of NEFI just over a year ago, formally. I had served in the interim role for 6 months prior to that. So it's been about 18 months in the role I'm in now. And I came to the role as NEFI's longtime head lobbyist. I was head of the NEFI Government Affairs Program in Washington, D.C. for the better part of 20 years. 19 years before taking on the role as president and CEO. I was brought on NEFI 20 years ago to lead their policy and government affairs work, mainly in Washington, D.C., but a little bit of state and local as well, really in support of our state and local association partners. Now, when I came to NEFI, it was actually a New England association called the New England Fuels Institute, and its focus was primarily representing the wholesale and retail heating oil market in New England. Even though there was some membership outside of New England, the vast majority of the members were in New England. Fast forward to today, we are technically a national association. My immediate predecessor took this organization in name and mission national in 2020, formerly in 2021, and we've been working in Washington, D.C. on behalf of not only our members in New England, but increasingly a number of interests outside of New England. We now have members, the retail on the retail side of the industry is as far south as Virginia. And as you know, the heating oil industry today is smaller than it was when I was hired, but it has diversified extensively, and many of our members market not only home heating oil, but also propane, off-road fuels, other types of liquid fuels, and many are also full service home comfort businesses as well. So our association, really these days, we're advocating for not just the liquid heating fuels industry, that's of course our bread and butter, but more broadly, the broader home comfort industry, particularly when you're talking about issues such as energy choice.
Oh, that's great, Jim. As the scope of NEFI has evolved into a national organization and representing not necessarily more groups, but a broader swath of the industry other than just, like you said, home heating oil, how has that helped NEFI mission grow and you guys able to advocate better for your members?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say when I was hired, as mentioned, we're primarily a heating oil association. We still are. That's a major core of our membership and our constituency and who we advocate for, the liquid heating fuels industry. But I will say, when I was hired, there was some little bit of trepidation about working outside of that space, particularly with the propane industry or even the utility sector. It was looked at as competition. And maybe it was at the time. I think that going back decades, natural gas was a primary competitor, and maybe in the recent 10 or 15 years, increasingly electricity, with heat pump deployment now being a major challenge. On the delivered fuel side, as well as the utility side, that push towards electrification has really strained the competitiveness of the market. It's shifted the policy dynamic, and it's created a new element of a little bit of a consternation among our membership, not just the traditional heating fuels industry, but also the broader home comfort space. At the end of the day, the consumer wants to be able to use the fuel that they feel is right for themselves and their families. We are an association that believes strongly in the ability of the consumer to choose the fuels and technologies that are right for their home, their climate, their family budget. That has become a core element over the past couple of years, especially of our federal policy work and also the work we've been doing in support of the states, particularly those where they've been facing a push towards electrifying the entire economy, including, of course, homes and commercial buildings.
I also want to ask and just let you talk a little bit more about, I think of NEFI in terms of advocacy a lot, and I think a lot of people do. That's why they join, that's why they participate, is they want the advocacy piece. But I know there's more to NEFI than that. Can you talk about some of the other things that NEFI is doing that help members that isn't advocacy?
Yeah, sure. And certainly I would say advocacy isn't just lobbying. Advocacy is also monitoring the press. What are people saying about our industry and our customers, and making sure that is true and accurate. So we do currently have some work in the communication space, which I'd like to expand now that I've got the reins of the organization. I'd like to see more work in that area. But you're not wrong. We have a number of member benefits outside of just the advocacy space. On the communication side, we put out a weekly newsletter, which you get, Will, I know, and read every week religiously, and where we put updates on these kinds of policy issues we've discussed today. We put important industry developments in there, industry events that you want to make sure you don't miss. Those are all in our weekly newsletter. We have a monthly magazine, which kind of recaps all this stuff and has feature articles that help your business survive and thrive in the current ever-changing market environment.
I don't want to take up your whole day. Before we wrap up,
yeah.
You want to give a plug to anybody out there who may not be a NEFI member and why it's important to send their money to you and have you help represent their business and help it grow?
Yeah, thank you. A lot of people might assume our dues are expensive. They are not. For a smaller, or average retailer, 1 to 2 million gallons a year, it's just $1,000, which for a year it's not a lot of money. I know that's maybe not true for everybody. Some businesses out there, maybe it is a lot of money, but I think you get a solid return on investment for your membership. As we talked about, we are working our butts off in advocating for this industry. I think we have a great portfolio of member benefits. And I think most of all, when you join this association, you're standing shoulder to shoulder with your peers, drawing a line in the sand and saying, we're important, we matter. This association believes strongly in the importance of this industry and what it does and the people it serves. And we could use your support in continuing that fight. So we'd love to have you as part of the NEFI family. And I'd be happy to, talk with any of your clients, any of your listeners, viewers, what have you, about how we can get them involved in our association. We'd love to have them.
And I will say, being involved in NEFI, it's not just the biggest of the big people that are out there that are members. There's board members of all sizes, demographics, states. So get involved. It's not for the biggest players in the world. Everybody should be a part of it, and you're going to get a benefit from it. And I think that's a great value.
Thank you.
I guess, Jim, thanks for joining me. Thanks for telling us a little bit about NEFI, and thank you to all our viewers. We'll be back this Wednesday with another refined product review. Refine your insight, fuel your success.